think you brought up another key word about being in control and talking about like habits. Like, what kind of morning habits do you have? Because I mean, obviously, I think that you're a pretty structured individual. So, what does your morning regimen, your morning routines look like?
Sure. Uh, I wake up in the morning. It's it's funny. Uh, I'm a big believer in, I mean, maybe because I run a health tech company about stress, sleep, exercise, and nutrition.
Hmm.
That's the kind of the four pillars we look at. There's a fifth one that's also psychological, uh, like emotional well-being when you have to be around people. That's the fifth one, but the four ones are the company ones. And so I actually make sure that I wake up and I get up when I wake up, not by alarm clock.
Hmm.
So I think that naturally sometimes we wake up and we feel a little better, sometimes we feel a little groggy, and we kind of force ourselves up. I do not. I have stopped setting an alarm clock like 3 years ago,
Hmm.
and I know that's unfair because people who have jobs have to be up at a certain time. But I've realized as long as I'm with a certain buffer, let's say I get up between 7 to 9, I just make sure like whenever I open my eyes and I'm kind of rested, I wake up and I get up and go. I noticed that just it just should make such a difference. There are also times where sometimes you just wake up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning for no reason. You don't know why. I used to before force myself to go back to sleep and be like, oh, I need those extra hours. And then I'd wake up later, I'm even more groggy. Now I have a rule where whenever I wake up is a wake up. If I wake up at 4, I'll wake up and I'll just get my day going. And then if I have to take a nap in the middle of the day, I do it.
Hmm.
But I think it's really important to follow your body and make sure you get the sleep in there. And then after that, I make sure that I basically just uh, get a very, very good breakfast. Uh, it's going to sound silly, but I focus specifically on a thing called like glucose company, glucose optimization.
Hmm.
So it's not eating or drinking things in the morning that are too carb heavy. Um, for example, one rule, there are simple rules you can do in life where like if you do long term, they just significantly help improve your all lifestyle choices. One is don't drink anything with sugar. Like the only things I drink are water, tea, coffee, milk, like kefir, right? If you just cut out like any sugar drinks, even if you like to go out, like have a vodka soda, have a gin and tonic. Don't do Coke and vodka. Just cutting out sugary drinks, I think was already a big factor.
Hmm.
Um, and then just have a meal that is a mixture of protein and fats and carbs together, not just carbs. So people do bagel for breakfast or something. Don't do that. Um, One good thing you could do is always make sure you eat the actual protein or the fat before the carb if you do have a carb. I know it sounds silly, but the order of your food, there's actually nutrition science behind this. The
Hmm.
order of your food actually makes an important factor on how your body processes it. If you eat a bagel first, let's say, or banana or an apple, you have this glucose spike and then you have this high energy level and then you crash. If you eat the protein and the fat first, your body actually starts metabolizing that first. And then if you eat the bagel afterwards, it gives you a steady energy for much longer. And people don't realize that it's the same exact meal, three pieces, the same meal, but just different order of how you chew them. Actually makes a difference. So I make sure to eat basically those three things, but in an order of protein and fat first.
So I guess it's safe to say when I assume to say that you're pretty structured, that is a clear damn understatement, right? I mean, like literally, you've optimized out. I mean, I think for our listeners, like taking the nutrition side, hence why I called you the nutrition boss, to just understand those principles of like, okay, if you're gonna eat the bagel potentially 90 minutes after you've eaten your sausage and your eggs to make sure that your glucose levels are at a particular point so you can peak. And I'm just listening to you, rattle it off, but it
Yeah.
definitely makes sense. But again, until you hear someone like you say it, I don't think people give that due diligence any processing. They just kind of eat whatever they need to eat and they just run with their day.
Well, what's interesting is I agree with you. What I've realized that one of the reasons people fail at nutrition and health is because it's extremely bucketed, where it's like you need to have this specific bagel, this specific time, this specific thing, or you need to wake up at this specific time. I've basically kind of made it structurally unstructured,
Hmm.
where I'll say like I can do these things, but it has to be within a certain time frame. Where it's like, okay, I can eat as long as like so I'll have like basics. I'll make sure I'll never eat within 3 hours of bed.
Hmm.
So you could have a little cheat meal, but make sure it's not within 3 hours of bed. And it's such a small thing. Or if you eat, go for a 10-minute walk. Like literally could be back and forth in your apartment,
Hmm.
like 10 minutes. Just put a timer, 10 minutes and just do it. And these small improvements actually dramatically over time change your life. I mean, if you think about any disease, diabetes, heart disease, it's not like you just don't have diabetes next year, you have diabetes or heart disease. It's continuous, just like every single day for 365 days a year for 10 years. You get it thousands of times. You're just kind of hurting yourself over and over and over by eating poor quality food, and that's how you get one of these diseases. So if you just remove small things like I mentioned, doing a small walk, literally after every meal, 10 minutes, you don't notice it, but it makes enormous difference. Because unfortunately, as entrepreneurs, we don't have time to go, do the whole 10-mile hike every day that, professional athletes have, or these, you see the workout regimes where you have to like mentally prepare yourself, where I see people doing workouts like an hour CrossFit. I love CrossFit, but it takes a lot of mental energy to be like, okay, I just had a stressful day at work. Now I'm going to do CrossFit for an hour. You have to be really motivated. And I think naturally we only have a certain amount of motivation every day to do things. And so by the time the end of the day ends, like you almost have this like paralysis of just your mind, will, and motivation. And so how do you remove the barrier for paralysis? And it's just reducing choices, right? I'm not sure if you have the concept of like paradox of choice.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean, for listeners, it's like the idea of, you know, 50 years ago, you had 3 pairs of jeans you could buy, and you tried all three, and then just the best one. So that's the one you love, and you wear that. Now you everywhere go with thousands of pairs of jeans, right? And no matter how much the one you like, the one you bought you like, there's always another one that's better. Always another one that's better. And now you have the same thing. Where like you could do yoga, you could do Legree, you could do Core Power Studio, you could do Orange Theory. There's so many options. There's so many things happening. We're always overwhelmed by choices and marketing all day long.
Mhm.
But if you just do simple things like literally like 10-minute walk around your apartment after a meal, it doesn't seem like work. It becomes more so like a habit that you don't have to think about it. You want to automate these things that are becoming like less work and more so just a simple thing you do every single day.